Hi, everybody. It's Chris from Guilty Words, where we unravel crime one word at a time. Tonight, we're taking a look at the 58-page letter that Sarah Boone sent to her lawyer. And no, we are not going to read the entire thing. I don't want you to run away screaming. But there are two major areas where she has misled her readers. And let's take a look at those together. On June 7, 2024, Sarah Boone delivered a 58-page handwritten letter to Judge Michael Cranick, explaining all her complaints about her case and various things within the justice system. Supposedly, she wrote this letter to the judge to get some justice for herself and to explain herself. But actually, when you read the letter, which I'll spare you, I've done it several times, she isn't really talking to the judge. So who is she talking to? And she really isn't out for justice. So why did she write it? Let's figure that out by looking at her very words. Whenever we write, it's important to define our audience because that affects our content, our writing style, and our tone. Sarah Boone claims that she is writing for the judge, but she starts off and makes a very interesting point. She says, "Your Honor, during our first introduction at my last withdrawal of court-appointed attorney number 7, Hobson, you stated to me your uninvolvement with any of my letters I write." Up until this point, Sarah had written a number of letters to the court, and obviously Judge Cranick wasn't bothering with them. She goes on to say, "I am still going to write my letters as, I believe it's conduitly, it's a little hard to read, as conduitly they are to the world where all my potential jurors are." So really, she knows the judge isn't reading her letters. It actually probably wouldn't be appropriate for him to do so. They need to go through a lawyer. But she's addressing them to the whole world where her potential jurors are. So she's writing to the jury pool. And more than that, she's writing to the whole world. Keep that in mind for later. But it's not just that one statement that shows that we are her audience. It's actually a lot of other things she includes that wouldn't be needed by lawyers or a judge, especially her address. Why on earth would her lawyer or the judge need both her regular correspondence and her legal correspondence address? But Sarah wants us to have more than just her address. This entire 58-page tome is everything that she thinks we need to know about her case. 58 pages of the story of all her mistreatment at the hands of lawyers and the justice system. It is a little crazy-making to read it. I can't imagine what it would be like to be her lawyer. Sarah Boone then goes ahead and she includes paragraphs copied out word for word from various legal documents in order to back up some of her assertions of mistreatment at the hands of the judges and the lawyers and the justice system in general. She even goes so far as to copy out a number of legal definitions and definitions of more general words in order to educate either the judge and the lawyers, which would be highly offensive because they already know this stuff, or us, because, of course, we can't be as smart as Sarah. So if Sarah is writing this for us, why is she writing it? There are two main reasons that she might. One is a battle for public opinion. The other is a battle for attention. And they're two very different things when it comes to trial cases. Let's take a look at each one briefly and then see which side she seems to land on. The court of public opinion has taken on a whole new meaning with the advent of social media, and our justice system is still struggling to catch up. In general, for a client, it means a deliberate, carefully designed legal media strategy, especially in a high-profile case like this one. Sometimes it's to check for a tainted jury pool. Koberger's lawyers recently did a telephone poll, which got them into all kinds of hot water to try and see how tainted the local jury pool was. Sarah Boone is claiming that she's putting this letter out there to the world because she's so famous that it's tainted her jury pool. The idea of putting out information is to help the defense stay even with or get ahead of the prosecution. Often the prosecution will have press conferences and release information before the defense has a chance. Also, the strategy includes who shares what, where, and when. For a good example of this, look at the lawyers surrounding the Long Island serial killer case and when and how they release information to the media on both sides. Boone says that this 58-page letter is to help public opinion understand her side of things. But is it really? Sarah claims that these letters are to the world where all my potential jurors are. Well, that's not true, because her potential jurors are not scattered all over the world. She even includes a map to show everywhere she's had letters or correspondence from or some kind of contact from, including places all over the world. But really, the only place she needs to worry about is down here in Florida. That's where her jury is coming from. So this idea that she has to speak to the entire world is not true. If she doesn't need to broadcast to the whole world, why is she? I would say because she wants attention. What else is there in her writing that implies she might be doing this more for attention than out of any legal strategy? The first is that map to show everyone how famous she is. It's completely unnecessary if she is just trying to straighten out her image with the jury pool. She would just be directing things in Florida, interviews, her side of the story, whatever it took. Because really, so what if people in Australia have heard of her? They will have no impact on her case. None of us will. The only ones who will are those that are chosen for her jury. That's right in her hometown. She also included those addresses. Does she want more mail, more support? Is she trying to drum up some support? I'm thinking today of the Karen Reed case, which just even a couple of hours ago was declared deadlocked. And she had her famous supporter, Turtle Boy, and there were protesters on both sides. Is Sarah Boone trying to garner that kind of support by heading out to the internet to everybody with this tome of injustices, trying to rally people because she's been so badly treated? Is she trying to draw the case out? Otherwise, why go through so many lawyers? It's been 5 years already for what should be a fairly fast trial. Is this really her best strategy? I don't think her lawyers would say it was. Her letter is full of self-serving, vague complaints and generalizations. I haven't gotten any of what I need for this, that, and the other. And I could go through and point them all out. Let me know if you want a more detailed look at that kind of thing. I'm happy to. But for now, to just say that if she really is trying to improve public opinion and not just draw the spotlight to herself, she would be much more specific. I need the records, my medical records from these dates. I need the reports from these dates. I have these dates, but not the others. She just says everything she's missing is innumerable. Well, innumerable doesn't cut it in the world of legalities. She needs to numerate it, so to speak. So what conclusions can we draw about this? Well, it's pretty clear the entire letter is to us, not to any legal personnel. She admits it, and then she backs it up with everything she includes that legal personnel wouldn't need. She aims to gain attention rather than really influence any jury pool at all. And it worked, because look, we're sitting here talking about her case. But it also backfired, because the judge had had enough, and now she's representing herself. And heaven help us. Can you imagine if this trial is televised? Sarah Boone, on display as her own lawyer, defending herself. One of the most important aspects of this is that if she really was trying to improve herself in the court of public opinion, she never addressed her case. She took the victim role of everything that's been badly done to her, but she never addressed any of the evidence like that horrific video. of her boyfriend dying in the suitcase while she laughs. She never answered any of the things that she said in some of the interviews and videos that are out there. She is completely ignoring all that and just trying to pull a poor me. Good luck with that in court, Sarah. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time very much. If you've enjoyed the content and you'd like to see more, I'd love to have your subscription. Please comment below where you're from and any other things you might want to cover here, and your thoughts on the Sarah Boone case in general. And until we meet again, please use your words wisely and well. Take care.